Liv Morgan doesn't need another storyline with Rhea Ripley. WWE would be foolish to rehash this feud. Liv Morgan has been excellent, but her road to a title match is unclear for WrestleMania 41. She spent most of 2024 and early 2025 in and around the Women's World Championship picture. Morgan would make a poor choice for a win because of her played-out story with Ripley. Liv Morgan has done excellent work throughout 2024, and in early 2025, it is obvious she will continue to be a major player in the women's division. But she has little to no chance of winning the Elimination Chamber. Her feud with Rhea Ripley has run its course, and nobody wants to see them add another chapter to their story. With Charlotte Flair challenging Tiffany Stratton and a challenge for NXT Women's Champion Julia unlikely, Morgan makes for a poor choice to win the Elimination Chamber. Furthermore, the absence of Raquel Rodriguez, combined with the presence of Bianca Belair and Naomi, both of whom have a bone to pick with her, confirms the unlikelihood of Morgan's win. Bayley's experience will take her far, but it won't be enough. She will be the veteran stitching the match together. Bayley will hope to win world title gold at back-to-back WrestleManias. A feud with Ripley at this point doesn't elicit excitement or make much sense. Bayley is in the match to use her veteran experience and elevate the bout. Bayley defeated Lyra Valkyria to book her spot in the Elimination Chamber, hoping to win a world title at consecutive WrestleManias. However, unlike last year when Io Sky and Bayley had tons of history, she doesn't share much common ground with Rhea Ripley. The one way a Bayley win will be on the horizon is if WWE wants to run a story of Ripley beating another WWE horsewoman at the Show of Shows. That is almost as unlikely as Bayley winning the Elimination Chamber. Alexa Bliss could build on her early momentum to get the win. The Wyatt Six will certainly be a factor. Alexa Bliss is the biggest wildcard in this match. The Wyatt Six will most likely be a factor for her success or failure in this bout. It appears that Bliss's immediate future is with the faction, which won't fit well with a world title feud. Alexa Bliss received one of the biggest pops of the night after she returned to WWE at the Royal Rumble PLE after a 2-year hiatus. She doesn't seem to have lost a step in her time away from the ring, and her massive popularity deserves a prominent spotlight at WrestleMania 41. Bliss is the wild card in the Elimination Chamber. The Wyatt Six will likely factor into her fate in the bout, amid reports that WWE has decided to have Bliss get involved with the faction after all. There is a possibility the faction helps her win or makes its presence felt once she is eliminated from the chamber. The idea of Rhea Ripley going up against Bliss and the Six sounds interesting, but it will be a huge swing for WrestleMania season. Every female WWE wrestler in the 2025 Elimination Chamber, ranked by chance of victory. The Elimination Chamber, Toronto PLE, is the main roster's last major stop on the road to WrestleMania 41. WWE's card for the Show of Shows is still very much in the air, with multiple potential matches teased and fresh angles being booked. The main narrative in the men's Elimination Chamber match will center around John Cena, as he seeks to rediscover his killer instinct and cash his ticket to a main event WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 41. Women's Chamber bout has multiple engaging storylines as well. A recently returned Alexa Bliss faces her biggest challenge after a 2-year hiatus. Bianca Belair and Naomi are tag team champions turned opponents inside the chamber, and Liv Morgan seeks to regain championship gold. These are just a handful of the stories at play in the Women's Elimination Chamber. Each woman has a good shot at winning the bout, but only one can emerge victorious. Naomi doesn't have momentum behind her. She is the most unlikely winner. Naomi is one of the women's division's most popular stars. However, she has no real momentum behind her. Nothing about her booking has suggested a world title match at WrestleMania 41. Naomi has been consistently over with WWE audiences since her return to the promotion, but nothing about her booking suggests she will be featured in a world title match at WrestleMania 41. Her athletic ability will result in a couple of big spots in the match, and her relationship with Bianca Belair will be tested as the women's tag team champions become opponents inside the chamber. Unless WWE has a major swerve planned, Naomi will probably be one of the first competitors to be eliminated in the bout. Morgan became obsessed with Mysterio in what looked at first to be mind games to the absent Ripley, but eventually turned into something more real. Each week, there were more and more teases of Mysterio being swayed by Morgan, until Ripley made her comeback to WWE programming. At first, she was furious with Mysterio, but as the weeks went on, he managed to win back her trust, especially since he cut a scathing promo on Morgan. Liv Morgan stole Dominik Mysterio from Rhea Ripley. Liv and Dirty Dom are WWE's most hated couple. Mysterio sided with Morgan at SummerSlam 2024. This led to a full Rhea Ripley babyface turn. Morgan and Mysterio get huge heat from WWE's audiences. After successfully becoming the Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan's pursuits of Dominik Mysterio proved to ultimately be a success. It was never definitively revealed whether it was a big plan all along from Mysterio or something decided on a whim, but SummerSlam 2024 was the moment where he finally turned his back on Mommy, choosing to engage in a relationship with Liv Morgan instead. He initially aided Morgan in her victory over Ripley in their title match at SummerSlam, before landing a statement kiss on his new love interest. An incensed Ripley could only watch on, heartbroken. Ripley's hatred for Morgan continued to grow, as she sought to take down the entire Judgment Day. Luckily, fellow former Judgment Day member Damian Priest was also looking for revenge, so the pair, donned as the Terror Twins, warred with the group. This led to a mixed tag team match at the Bash in Berlin PLE where Ripley and Priest scored a big victory over Mysterio and Morgan, but the feud continued on after this show. The feud between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan is never-ending. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan cannot find a way to finish their rivalry. Morgan defended the Women's World title against Ripley at Bad Blood. Ripley was injured in storyline by Morgan. For a long time, there was no winner in the feud between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. The top end of the Raw Women's division was dominated in 2024 by the storyline involving Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, with the pair steadily becoming their respective biggest rivals of all time, and therefore carving out a storied history. Their feud stretched on to Bad Blood 2024, where Dominik Mysterio hung from a shark cage. Shenanigans ensued, leading to Raquel Rodriguez, another ex-rival of Ripley, returning to the mix and siding with the heel Morgan, attacking Ripley and allowing her ally to escape as champion. In the following months, the rivalry continued, leading to a legit orbital bone injury for Ripley. She was written off TV with another attack from Morgan, which proved to be a big trend in their rivalry together. Rhea Ripley vs. Liv Morgan is over. For now. Ripley defeated Morgan to win back the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley pinned Liv Morgan inside War Games. Ripley and Morgan wrestled on Raw's Netflix premiere. It seems as though Ripley and Morgan's story is done. Through the back end of 2024 and into 2025, the feud between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan continued to drive on, much to the chagrin of many fans who had just about seen enough of these two in the ring together. The two women were on opposite sides of War Games at Survivor Series 2024, and Ripley made a big statement by not only winning the match for her team, but pinning Morgan in the process, putting herself back in contention for the Women's World Championship. After Morgan had fended off Io Sky on Saturday night's main event, it was soon announced that Ripley would be challenging Morgan on the historic Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw. After months and months of pursuing Morgan and seeking some revenge, Ripley finally defeated her rival and won back the Women's World Championship, a title she never lost. Even though Dominik Mysterio tried to switch allegiance again, Ripley gave him a battering too, standing tall to end their feud. Their bad blood has still been evident though, as Ripley's hatred of Morgan led to her attacking the now former champion in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match, causing a disqualification and allowing Morgan to pick up the victory. Morgan and Ripley have also since met in the ring in tag team action, though it feels as though the pair are set to gradually move further and further away from one another going forwards. It is likely that they will find themselves intertwined again, as their already long history dictates that they will be connected forever. Stayed towards the top of the main event, even when she's also keeping the much-maligned tag team division alive with more title reigns. Imagine how bad of shape that division would be without her. Hollywood has seen how great Liv Morgan is too, as she was cast in a lead role in Takashi Miike's Bad Lieutenant, Tokyo. She could easily become the next wrestler turned Hollywood star, just like The Rock, John Cena, and Dave Bautista. When she returned from filming her role, another storyline was waiting, with the recently called-up Roxanne Perez now eyeing Dominik. On top of that, with Nikki Bella making a comeback, WWE chose Liv Morgan to be the one to face her at Evolution. She was doing it all in WWE as the division's true MVP, until it was brought to a stop by another shoulder injury. This is how important Morgan is to WWE. Although she's going to be out of action for months, the company cannot let her sit on the sidelines for too long. Liv's presence is too important to simply keep her off TV while she heals. Her character makes you want to watch what she does next, so she must stay involved in some form, even if it's just for promos and storylines that involve no physical action. Wrestling is more about matches. It's also about storytelling. No woman tells a story better right now than Liv Morgan.